Good morning, students. Hope you all doing good. I, Dinesh Rawat, your subject faculty, welcome you all. So the subject name is research methodology, and the broad topic which we were discussing was report writing. So today we will discuss one of the important part and the last section under report writing. So let's start. So this is the reference from where the PPT content has been made. So it is a course on SWAM portal, that is Research Methodology and Statistical Analysis is the name of the course. So you can go through the course material, and you can also download the course material. It would be very beneficial, and it includes all your statistical analysis and your research methodology part. So till now we have discussed about structure of report, where we have discussed prefactory items, text or body, and terminal items, and the important terms which are there under these items. So which you have to take under consideration while you prepare your report. So it can be your summer internship report, it can be your final semester report. So you have to take these important terms under consideration, and you have to keep them in your report. And these are the different heads: prefactory, text, and terminal. So you can divide your report, entire report, under these three heads. So then the one more topic which we have covered was stages in preparation of report. So these were the stages, and the first one was logical understanding and analysis of the subject matter. So under this, when we understand the subject matter, when we understand the topic completely, and we analyze the subject matter, there are some important aspects in the subject matter which we have to take into consideration. So the topic is important aspect in subject matter. So let's start. So first you have to first the term is center head. So center head is the heading. A center head is typed in all capital letters. You have to type it in capital letters. If the title is long, the inverted pyramid style. That is, the second line shorter than the first line. The third line, which is shorter than the second line, is used. So if your title is, it's long, so you can use inverted pyramid style, where the second line would be shorter than the first line, and the third line would be shorter than the second line. All caps heading are not underlined. You are not required to underline it, and underlining is unnecessary because capital letters are enough to attract the reader's attention. So this is an example of center head. Then you can add center subhead. The second item is center subhead. The first letter of the first and the last word, and all nouns, adjective, verbs, and adverbs in the title are capitalized. The first letter, remember the first letter, not the entire letter. Articles, preposition, conjunctions are not capitalized. So this is an example of center head. So you can write your title as center head, and if the title is long, you can use inverted pyramid style, and you can also use center subhead. So where the first letter of the first and last word and all the nouns, adjective, verbs, and adverbs are capitalized. So this is an example of center subhead. Now you have side head. Words in the side head are either written in all capital or capitalized as the center subhead and underlined. So this is an example of subhead. Side subhead. So you can have the heading in this format, that is side head. Then you can have paragraph. So when you start writing your paragraph, so you can have the paragraph head, as words in a paragraph head are capitalized as in the center subhead and then underlined. At the end, a colon appears. So you have to remember this when you start your paragraph, and the heading of the paragraph, and it ends with a colon, and then the paragraph starts. So this is an example of paragraph head. You can have side head in your report, and then you can make use of center head and center subhead. So these are some important terms which we have to take into consideration while we study our subject matter. Center head, center subhead, then you have side head, and then you have paragraph head. So paragraph head, it is just that when you start your paragraph and when you end the heading, a colon comes. So remember this, a colon comes. So this is your paragraph head. And side head is you can have a simple heading. Then you have when to use quotation marks. So quotation, generally हम quotation भी use करते हैं अपनी reports में. So quotation marks are used for a directly quoted passage or word. Directly जब आप quote करते हैं या passage, कोई भी आपका passage है या word है, a word or phrase to be emphasized. If you are emphasizing on a word or phrase, so let's suppose if you are writing anything related to any particular topic and you are emphasizing on something, so you just quote it. Titles of the article you quoted, chapters, sections of book or reports or unpublished work. So the title of these items you quote, and then a word or phrase to be emphasized on. If you're emphasizing on a word or phrase, then you quote it, and a direct quoted passage or word. Footnotes. So footnotes are very important in your when you study your subject matter. So a footnote either indicates the source of the reference or provide an explanation which is not important enough to include in the text. So sometimes you would see footnotes in the report. Footnotes is, it is just indicating the source of the reference or provide an explanation which is not important enough to include in the text. So you keep it. अगर आप सोचते हैं that is not important enough to include in the text, you can keep that explanation in footnotes. Or also the reference, अगर आपने कोई reference या source of reference, you can put in footnotes. Where to put the footnote? Footnotes appear at the bottom of the page or at the end of the chapter. So generally every page के bottom में you would see a footnote, or also you can have footnote at the end of the chapter before the appendices start. Rationale of footnote. Footnote help the readers to check the accuracy of the interpretation of the source by going to the source if they want to. So अगर आपने कोई reference है, कोई भी use करा है, तो उसका source जो है आप footnote में include करते हैं, and by clicking on that footnote or by using that link of footnote or by using the reference, one can understand from where you have taken that material. They are also an acknowledgement of the author's indebtedness to the sources. So author is giving the credit to the source. They lend authority to the work and help the readers to distinguish between the author's own contribution and that of others. So you give the credit and that help to distinguish the difference. What is your own creation and what is the creation of others? So that is the rationale of footnotes. Generally footnotes chapter के end में या फिर page के bottom में आते हैं, and it indicates the source of reference and also कुछ explanation which you think that are not important enough to keep in the main text. So these were some of the important aspects under subject matter. So stages we have covered, and structure of research report. Structure of report, research report may there are important headings, and then stages. Stages may the first stage is very important. That is the logical understanding and analysis of the subject matter. And under when you understand the subject matter, you have to keep these terms, important aspects under consideration. And these important aspects which we have discussed are center head, center subhead, then you have side head, paragraph head, then quotation you use in your report, and then footnotes. So these were some of the items which are there when you write your research report. So that is all for today, and through this we complete our report writing section, and next we would start with data analysis.